Breathe a sigh of relief. You made it to Strongly Financial, a weekly live web series dedicated to elevating your financial literacy and cultivating your overall health and well-being. Your co-hosts are Dr. Michael A. Wright and Ali Leonard. Their respective expertise in holistic wellness and financial consulting positions them perfectly to guide you toward optimal well-being and unrivaled financial success. Please allow me to introduce them further. The incomparable Ali Leonard. As a credit guru, Mr. Leonard has dedicated himself to fostering financial literacy in students of all ages. He has developed a comprehensive credit awareness curriculum that is suitable for elementary, high school, and college students. Mr. Leonard has traveled the country, providing credit awareness seminars to high schools, colleges, churches, and private organizations. Mr. Leonard has worked tirelessly with federal credit agencies, financial services, and real estate agencies, earning a strong reputation for his professionalism and expertise. Mr. Leonard is committed to educating and training consumers as well as assisting them practically to fix their credit. The company he founded, Financial Services Unlimited, offers credit consultation, credit services, and financial services including insurance for financial repair and wealth management. Join his supportive online community, FSU team, empowering you to take control of your financial future. Dr. Michael A. Wright. Dr. Michael A. Wright is a highly accomplished and respected professional in the fields of social work, coaching, publishing, and consulting. With a wealth of experience and expertise, he has dedicated his career to helping individuals and organizations achieve their goals and make a positive impact in their communities. As the CEO and lead executive coach at More Media Group, Dr. Wright specializes in helping individuals tell their stories and translate their ideas into capital. With interventions based on his signature contribution, creating opportunities and changing horizons, the coach method, he continues to focus on trauma-informed, holistic, and transformational approaches to personal and professional development. Join the vibrant online community at wealthcarebymoremedia.com, where he promotes practical habits of health in 4 key domains: brain, body, mind, and spirit. And I am your virtual host, Bartholomew Socrates. You can call me Bart. I introduce the ideas, the segments, and the opportunities as we explore the intersection of health and wealth weekly on Strongly Financial.
Hello, good evening, y'all. Good evening. What's happening? Hope everybody's having a wonderful and blessed day. Dr. Wright would not be joining us today, so I guess we'll be holding the ship down. When I say we, me and the wifey. So, we're not going to get into, I guess, all of the things that we wanted to share. Okay, I have something I want to share from. Oh no, that's me. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to actually dive into the segment for tonight that we kind of wanted to get into last week, but we kind of pushed it back. So we want to talk um, about the certifications that individuals need to be aware of and need to apply for and need to get when it comes for to for-profit companies. Now, this is not for nonprofit. This is for for-profit companies. And most of us have probably had even heard of them or have heard of some of them, but we're going to kind of go through a list of the ones that are out there that are important that you need to.
Well, let's just talk about in general, having a business and running a business.
Okay.
And, what are some of the ways that you can get a foot in the door to some of these larger corporations, or either you can even, you're for profit, but a lot of times, a lot of the nonprofits are looking for services from the for-profit sector.
Yes.
So
yes.
That's kind of underlying what we'll be talking about today. But we can definitely start off just as a business sense, structuring your business correctly.
Very important.
And all the things that you have to do behind the scenes to actually get your business up and running legally. And then developing it out, securing some funding if you can, or maybe it's coming out of your pocket, but just understanding that when you become an entrepreneur, it's a whole new world. Okay. And I can say over the past probably 2 years, I have been exposed to this whole new world, and it's different. It's a different kind of mindset because it's more self-motivating. You have to drive yourself to be able to get things done. It's nobody looking over your shoulder or asking you 1,000 questions. It's you, yourself.
Well, and I think you've been in it longer than 2 years, but been exposed to it. So, I mean, it is very, very important that you start your business off with a solid foundation and your infrastructure is built correctly. I've been in the self-employed arena for over 30 years. Even while working a job, I had a business on the side. So, but most people, when they get into business, they set it up as a sole proprietorship, which means that you are putting your social security number down for the business. So all the taxes, all the liabilities are basically falling on you. Um, we suggest that you not be a sole proprietorship and get a corporation. A lot of people go the LLC route. There are some that go the S corp route, C corp route, but limiting your obligations and your responsibilities personally and putting that back on your business. So you definitely want to go to your Secretary of State in your state and do a name search to make sure that the name that you're choosing is going to be the name that's available, and you want to file with the Secretary of State for your LLC, S corp, C corp, whatever corporation you decide to kind of go with. We have both. We have LLCs and S corps. C corps are for individuals really who are making, millions of dollars in situations like that, because there's a lot of other factors that are included in that, but we're not going to get into that part tonight. So, go ahead.
One question. So, maybe I do have a little bit more experience because I started a business way back when, and it was just like a clothing type business where I wanted to sell, and I just had a DBA. And so what do you think is the main reason? I mean, I was able to use that on my taxes, but the sole proprietorship, the DBA, even for people that have called themselves just starting out, just wanting to kind of get a little bit, just the feet wet a little bit in this business entrepreneurship. Maybe they may be selling cakes and pies, or I had a friend that did strawberries on the side. So for something like that, what do you suggest? Do you still just start off small and work your way up, or do you just dive in with that um, S corp or S corp is what you're saying?
Well, I mean, and most people start with LLCs. I mean, who don't know a lot about the structure of business. Um, but if you're just starting off, I mean, I don't really suggest you just go out and just file all your paperwork, because you don't really know if it's going to work or not. You might be feeling a few dollars here, a few dollars there, until you really start getting a foundation and start seeing some consistent revenue. Then you go and file your stuff with the state, get your EIN number, and basically all of that. So I wouldn't waste a lot of energy in the beginning, especially if it's just like a hobby or something that you're passionate about, that you're doing on the side, making cakes, making plates. And I don't suggest you go in and start doing all that, because now you got some eyes that are going to be on you, and you got to file your. If you're selling products, now you got to go to the state and get your sales and usage taxes going to be applied to you, and you got to sell. You got to charge taxes for, and starting off, that's way too much for you. So no, just just grind and do what you do to build your clientele. And if you can see that it's starting to really pick up, now let's dive into your corporate structure, LLC, S corp, and basically the reason why you want to do that is for tax purposes. On a sole proprietorship, you don't have as many tax breaks if you have a LLC or S corp. More things you can write off, and your tax bracket is going to be percentage is going to be higher as a sole proprietor than as a LLC or S corp. So those are some things that you want to keep in mind as well. Yes. So, but until you get it to kind of rolling, then don't at some point in time you got to do all those things. But starting off, I wouldn't really suggest that we dive into that right away. Now, if you do have a business and you've been doing business, for a year or more, and you are a for-profit company, there is some certifications that you're going to have to make your life easier, to give you more exposure, to be able to put you in some rooms that typically it's going to be time consuming for you to get into. And some of these certifications push you up the ladder, regardless of how long you've been in business. They're going to look at the individuals who have these certifications and bump them up, regardless of what kind of experience or education or knowledge you have about an industry. If you don't have these certifications, you're going to be put even behind them. And for me, even with FSU, first 10 years, 12 years, I mean, I had heard about these certifications, but I never really acted on them. And once I got more detail about it, I still didn't act on. And then, of course, went on vacation for a little while, came back and knew how the importance of it because of the individuals that were in that arena. So, we're going to talk about some of these certifications that's out there that you need to kind of look at and get more information about. Google, because trust me, they're going to be very, very beneficial to you, and they're going to open up more doors than you might can imagine. So, is there any particular order that we want to dive into, or in that situation? No. Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. You want to start, or you want me to just kind of flow out there a little bit? Okay. Your SPA, which is your Small Business Administrator, I mean, they have a certification as well, and a lot of these certifications that are out there is kind of part of what they do as well. But you definitely want to start with the Small Business Administration because there are opportunities there as well for funding, for ways to kind of get into the some of these arenas, loans, and things like that. The next one that I really want to talk about is the WBE, which is Women Business Executives. The WBE. So it's basically women-owned small businesses certification. And since you are, a woman, of course, a beautiful woman at that, I'm going to let you kind of talk about some of the qualifications for that and the advantages of being a WBE, and a little history behind that. People that kind of know how the system works and play the game. These corporations that were basically owned by men and white men, they changed their structure and gave their wives 51% of the company because it allowed them to get more contracts. It allowed them to get into more spaces because government has set aside 5% of any contract, any any contract dealing with the government. 5% of that has to go to women-owned businesses. Period. So they would make their wives 51% that they can go out and get, more contracts. And they were still really the face of the company, but their wife owned 51%. So now they were able to get more of these contracts that are out there.
So the Small Business Administration, I guess, came up with this program. At least every year, 5% of the contracts are awarded to women with small businesses, and also economically disadvantaged women-owned companies. But of course, there are qualifications for that.
Yes.
Small business, according to SBA, whatever their standards are, and you have to be at least 51% owned and controlled by a woman who is a U.S. citizen. And a woman must manage the day-to-day operations and make long-term decisions. So basically, it's giving women a seat at the table. Okay, for so long there have been many situations where we didn't have that. So this opens up the door for us to be able to get these contracts. And then if you are considered an economically disadvantaged, your business is considered economically disadvantaged, there is even more opportunity there. And so just knowing that kind of opens the door for us at the table. It allows us to go after these contracts. But of course, these certifications, you have to have these certifications in order to be able to qualify for this extra funding or grants or whatever it is that they're allowing for.
And you might not think 5% is a lot, but what's 5% of $100 billion? Actually 10% of 100 billion is 100 million. So 50 million. So I mean, $50 million has to be set aside for women-owned businesses. Let's look at the amount of revenue that a person can generate just by having this WBE certification. Now, you just can't put on paper and say, okay, I'm a woman.
Look, don't think they're going to make it easy for you. Okay?
No. You have to get the certification, period. You got to have it.
But once you have it, you have it.
Oh,
some of them you have to renew on a yearly basis. Some of them, but while you're getting it, they'll give you all that, so you'll know exactly what it is that you have.
Yes.
So for economically disadvantaged women, it says that you can't have more than $850,000 in personal net worth, and then whoever owns and controls the company, each one of them have to make at least $400,000 in adjusted gross income the previous year. So they look at tax returns.
Oh yeah, they're gonna.
They look at they really look into your business and see the structure, see how it's run, see how much money you're claiming on those taxes yearly. So there are stipulations to these certifications, but just knowing that they're out there and they're available for you, that's a major thing. And then you can get funding for your business, and you can participate in a contract. You can even be a subcontractor, but even if you're a subcontractor, you have to still have the certification.
You gotta have it. And I mean, another big one is, when you look at the MBE, is a minority business entity certification. Executive. No, entity. I'm sorry. MBE is similar to the WBE, but it's for minority individuals, Asian, Indian, Asian, Pacific, Blacks, Hispanics, Native America. Those all fall under the majority minority business entities, the MBE certification. And once again, I mean, this certification opened up doors because there are X amount of dollars that needs to be set aside for the MBE, the WBE. You're looking at major contracts that that's for years at a time, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and this just allows you to be at the table. Because without these certifications, you ain't gonna be at the table. I'm sorry, unless you got some, you ain't gonna be at the table. If you are a minority, because there's so much that these major corporations that have everything that they need to make this happen, they're already in place. They've been doing this for years. So with these money set aside, you are guaranteed 5% of this government contracts, and the government is the number one spender in the world as far as contracts and grants and actually things like that. So, and once again, you still have to be 51%. Has to be minority owned
or women,
managed.
Or they even have a veterans owned.
Oh yeah,
veterans.
We're gonna do that next.
The veterans VOSB, veteran owned small business certification. So you see, there's a lot of opportunity here in getting these certifications. So if your business is 50% or more owned and controlled by a U.S. veteran, if you have a small business according to the SBA standards, of course you have the veteran certification, or someone's that service disabled veteran owned business certification. So this too allows you a seat at the table. So we have over 16.5 million veterans in the United States today. So, even if you are not a veteran, if you know someone that is, and they're willing to partner with you, And
Right.
but you have to go through the steps of partnering and showing that that person, you know, even if you create a new business, whatever you need to do,
Right.
because you need to get at the table. You need to have a seat at the table in order to be able to wheel and deal. And these contracts range from so much. Contracts for cleaning the office spaces to
Landscape,
landscaping,
construction,
construction,
trucking,
food, service.
yeah,
It's
housing.
so much. You know,
I
I'm
mean,
telling you, it's
everything.
just so much. You said construction, right?
Yeah.
So it would be, I think, a very, very wise decision to research these certifications and go ahead and do what you need to do to get it done.
Exactly.
Especially if
Yeah.
you're having problems in your business with, of course, you're going to do the regular marketing and all that kind of stuff and build your business. But if you're like just having that, missing that piece where you have, you know, uh, problems with funding and making money and all that, this will definitely open up that window for you.
And then you know, with these contracts, um, when you look at these contracts, you know, some of these contracts are for years. You know what I'm saying? 5 years, 3 years, you know, 10 years, 7 years. So, you know, it's not like once you get awarded one of these contracts, it's not going to be something that is going to, you know, end in 30 days, 40 days, 60 days. I mean, you do have some temporary contracts like that, but you know, you got to understand that this is going to be consistent. This is something that's going to be happening um, on a regular basis. So you got to keep that part in mind as well. And some of these certifications are based on state to state. Uh, uh, um, you know, when you talk about, let's say in Dallas, you know, one of the individuals that offers the MBE is the National Minority Supply Development Council, and they have a office here in Dallas, and Houston, and you know, major cities around the country. Um, but you want to get these certifications regardless of what city or state that you're in, and they have some federal ones as well. The DBA, you know, disabled um, certification, is more on a federal level, so you can be able to work in any, you know, any state in the country. You know, once you get those type of uh, uh, arrangements, even when you're dealing with the 8A, you know, that's I mean, the 8A is like the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more detailed to get it, but once you do get it, I mean, you're able to, man, just to pretty much walk into any establishment and make it work. Uh, uh, um, you're really at the top of the you know, food chain. You know, when you talk about the 8A qualification, um, and I mean, it. There's a lot of companies out there that are not taking advantage of the the information that is out here. You know, when it comes to these certifications. Um, and you know, even with the 8A, I mean, as long as your company is under, have assets under $4 million, you know, you are, I mean, good to go. Um, and you know, you want to also look at, hello. Oh, I thought I saw a main man pop in. Even you know, getting some of these HUD zone certifications. That's also out there. Hub, not HUD, Hub certifications. You know, which you look at up to 10% more of the business that is out there as well. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have not heard of the hub zone programs, and that is the historically underutilized business zone. So hub programs is actually targets small businesses in rural and urban areas with high unemployment rates and low housing income. You know what I'm saying? So there are so many different arenas that are out there for us to be able to really take advantage of a lot of these government contracts and grants and things like that that's available for us to take our business to another level. And a lot of us don't really know, haven't been exposed to these type of certifications. And of course, I mean, there are some guidelines. You just can't go in and pay $20 and they give you this. No, that ain't gonna work. Your last two tax returns. You got to have your articles of incorporation. You got to have some bylaws. You got to have your birth certificates for whoever is a part of the business.
You actually want to go to somebody to help you with these certifications.
Most definitely.
Because
I ain't telling you to do it on your own.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can if you're thoroughly, totally.
It's too much.
But it's a lot. So definitely it's something that you want to seek out a professional for. And that brings up the SCORE mentors, because they are probably able to help with that as well.
Yeah.
SCORE mentors is a network of volunteer professionals, retired professionals,
yeah.
And they lend their skills to help new businesses, new upcoming businesses, to get certifications, to start nonprofits, and everything business. So you
Yes.
could go to your SBA and they could give you information on that, or you can just probably Google it. One in your area, just SCORE, SCORE, SCORE mentor. Just Google it and go to them and let them know what you would like to do, and they can, I'm sure, help you, or at least point you in the right direction to what and who you need to speak with.
Yep.
It's SCORE mentoring program.
Yep. It's score.org. And when you pull it up, you're going to put in your zip code, and it's going to give you the closest SCORE organization near you. And they do everything from business plans to, they do it all, and they're good at what they do because this is their field that they were in while they were working. Now they're retired, and just giving their services to people like yourself, like us. Because trust me, even with the certifications that we're getting now, we're not doing them ourselves. We're an expert doing it, because I ain't trying to mess it up.
Too much time, too much energy, too much frustration. Trust me, this is one of those situations where you want to let somebody else do it for you, because you'll spend unnecessary frustration and time trying to get this done. And plus you need it. Another certification, they have an LGBT owned business enterprise certification as well.
Man, they got some.
It's so many.
It's so many.
Honestly, I would just, if you want to get more information on these certifications, just do your research. Google has just laid it out.
Right.
We're in the information age, and everything is out there for you. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
But now you know.
Yep.
Because we're telling you. But definitely these certifications will take your business to another level, put you out there, let people see what you're doing, and it's all for the good of helping people. We have to people helping people.
Right.
It's very important.
Yes.
And so,
Well, and another thing that people need to really realize is, the information is there. We have to research it, but we got to know what to research. So, SBA, We got the DBE. You have the WBE. You have the MBE. You have the HUB certification. The
LGBT owned company.
Right. That's actually another one as well. And 8A. 8, the number 8 and the letter A.
It's 8. It's minority owned small business certification, and then it has the number 8A.
Right.
So definitely, that's the big boy.
That's the big boy. Now they're gonna pull all kind of stuff for you to be able to turn in and for them to verify. But if you're ever blessed to get that, you are, as they say, at the top of the food chain, like the Lion King, at the top of the food chain. That's gonna open up so many doors, it's gonna scare you.
And it basically aims to assist people who have historically been at an economic disadvantage due to racial, ethnic, and cultural biases.
Right.
So, it's for anyone that wants to reach that, get to that level. If you know your business is viable, you may be already operating at a certain level, and you're ready to kick it up a little bit.
Right.
To qualify, you must have a personal net worth under $250,000. And that is excluding personal residence, business, and cash. I guess they're using your cash on hand, checking, savings account, real estate, IRAs, any kind of assets that you have, basically, any vehicles. It says the annual salary must be the highest paid person in the company with a reasonable salary for the industry and company. So for your company, I guess whoever is going to be the higher paid one would be the one to lead this.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has to be a salary that's comfortable with the industry that you're in.
Right. And then also the total current market value, all assets in the company, of all assets must be under $4 million. So, and then of course, an average 2-year adjusted income of less than $200,000. So it's all there for you. Whoever the person is that's going after this, they must have full control of the company or own 51% of the company. And then you got to provide 2 most recent tax returns. But it just puts you in a good place, a good lineup for securing contracts.
Now, one thing I will tell you is you don't play with these folks when it comes to these tax returns. So don't be getting nothing bogus and something you done generated yourself, or your accountant boost this and boost that. These have to be legitimate tax returns, because trust me, they're going to do their research on you. So I mean, you don't want to. When you're dealing with the government and the contracts and grants, they don't play with that part of it. And I don't suggest you do that too, because you can be somewhere, with visitation rights for people to come see you.
God, no.
Yes.
There.
So we're not going to go there, but this is one of the ways to really elevate your business to another level, to give you an opportunity to sit at the table to where normally you wouldn't be at these tables. Trust me. And it's because of you being a minority, because they have controlled these industries for so long. Now they're forced to give a percentage of these contracts that the government is giving out to minorities, women, other, Mexicans, Latinos, and Native Americans, and et cetera, blacks, Asians, Hispanic. That's what I'm looking for, Hispanic. So this is an opportunity for wealth building,
or wealth transfer
from them to us. Okay, well, yeah, a combination of both, transferring and building and all that wonderful stuff, all in one. But this is something that a lot of us, we don't have these conversations enough when it comes to these certifications. That's going to be very, very valuable for you, And you must understand that these certifications are not for nonprofit organizations. That's a totally different ball game and field there, and arena. Which maybe we need to talk about that one day. Once our captain comes back. So we want you to understand the importance of being able to do that. You might not be where you want to be when it comes to somebody just starting, of course, but this is something that you need to keep on your radar once you do become official. And even if you don't have 2 years of tax returns, of course, they will take your balance sheets, your assets and losses as well going forward. So,
but don't they do personal tax returns?
Oh,
yeah, it's personal tax returns. So hopefully you have a couple of years ahead or behind tax returns behind you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do combination of both. So, but once you establish and got these certifications, I'm telling you, it's going to really open up some major doors. And we went to was it a workshop or a seminar?
It was a workshop.
It was like a workshop, and they talked about these certifications in detail. They had individuals that companies that were that had money through the government to pay for companies who had these certifications. And we ain't talking no little money, that's for sure. But in order to get this money, you got to be certified. I mean, you're not going to be let in the door, because on a lot of applications that you apply for as a business owner, they ask you those questions. What type of certifications do you have?
Yes.
And you can say WBE because I'm a woman. I can say MBE, but if you ain't officially got that documentation that say this is your certification, it's not gonna count. It might count to you, but it ain't gonna count.
Well, I hope you wouldn't say it if you don't have it.
Right.
That just don't make sense.
Well, I mean, some people might misunderstand and say, okay, I am a minority business entity, but I don't have a certification, but I am one. So, I mean, without certification, you're really not one.
And we have some other people that we have aligned ourselves with that can also, but it is they will charge you for it.
Oh, yeah, they ain't doing it for free now.
I mean, the SCORE mentors.
That part is free.
That's free, but we have some people that we've aligned with.
Right.
That can do it and do it kind of quickly.
Thoroughly and quickly. And I mean, even if you go with a SCORE, even if you try to do it yourself, there's still going to be a cost associated with getting these certifications through whether it be the National Minority Supply Development Council or any other agency that is certified to present these certifications, because you're going through them to get them. There's a fee. I mean, it might be $300, it might be $250, or whatever the case may be. Each state is going to be a little different, and each agency that is providing these certifications are going to be different as far as the amount that they charge. So we don't want you to say, okay, well, this ain't going to charge you no money at all, because unfortunately, you got to pay money to make money.
That's right. I mean, this is you're starting a business, so there has to be some skin in the game,
right,
so to speak. And so make sure you have have yourself together on that end.
Yes. So I mean, I think that we've kind of given you the basis for some of the things that you need to be looking into, even if you're not at that stage, or maybe you are at that stage, to where your company is doing well consistently, and you just want to open up some other avenues and opportunities for you. Take it from us. Well, now, don't just take it from us. Do your research as well. But having these certifications will open up some doors that you will be amazed at the amount of money that comes with these contracts and the length of time for these contracts that are going to be there. And you can always partner with individuals You know, once you get your certifications, and you might not be the one that can do the construction or do the landscape. You know what I'm saying? But you just subcontract it out to someone who has the credentials and the ability to do it, and you still get a percentage of this money because they're doing the work. This is what they're paying you, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's how that works. So we're not going to keep you long this evening. We appreciate your time. We hope this information has been very valuable for you. But definitely do your research, do your homework, and you'll come back and thank us later and say, hey, what you guys talked about has definitely benefited our business. And the certifications are there, and people are getting them every day and putting themselves in a better position financially, making their businesses stronger and more solid. The foundation, the infrastructure is built on a solid foundation now because they have these contracts that are going to be. And once you get one, I mean, you're going to get more, and they last for years, months. So it's not like you're doing something for 20 days and it's over. Nah, no.
And that's what this program and excuse me. Excuse me. That's what this whole program is about. It's reach one, teach one. We want to share the information and share the knowledge with you.
Yes.
You know, because we're all had to start somewhere.
Right.
And so if you have someone, you know, that's brand new to this world, brand new to this business world, we definitely want to share information, at least to get you on the right road to getting your business up and running the right way. And so I know that Michael definitely, you know, even though he's not here tonight, this is something that he wanted us to talk with you guys about.
Yes.
Make sure that you had, you know, at least a little foundation of understanding, so that you can grab the information, go do your research, and see how you can get in alignment with this.
Yes.
With these certifications and to make your business much stronger.
Yes.
So on that note,
we out. Thank you.
And love you.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Peace.